One of the things I want to talk about
Mm-hmm.
is the importance of planning. And because planning and strategizing and more planning than anything has
Mm-hmm.
really been who I am. And I
Wow.
plan my life like a business, right? Everything's being
Mm-hmm.
planned on a really deep level. And I have all these
Mm-hmm.
tools at my disposal to really make it
Mm-hmm.
happen very fast and efficient. I want to help others learn that. One of the things I read recently was a study
Okay.
from the University of Scranton. The study showed that literally 92% of folks
What?
never reach their goals,
Wow.
right?
Okay.
Yes. Well, we're part of the 8% that
Yes.
are pursuing our
Mhm.
dreams and we're reaching our goals.
92.
It's really about the fact that we're not
Mm-hmm.
doing some of the simple things, which is like writing
Mm-hmm.
things down or using a tool. But
Oh.
I believe in both. So I still have my this is a planner that I sell online. This allows
Mm-hmm.
me to really get things done. And people don't understand about writing things down and how it helps with your memory and keep your brain fresh. I do both. I'm a techie. I love tools. I use my calendar. I
Mm-hmm.
use project management
Mm-hmm.
tools, but I also write things down.
Well, that listen, you like preach to the choir here because for me, I don't like when things are like chaotic. I have a lot of stuff on my plate. If it's not written down, it's not going to get done. Even if I put it in my calendar, sometimes the phone is not right by me. Try to do it at the beginning of the day or sometimes before to see what the day looks like. Sometimes I put things in for the month because you just never
Right.
know. They talk about being an adult. Hey, girl, what's your free day this month? That's me. I'm that friend. Unfortunately, like we got to plan months in advance. We got to date this day. Even my husband and I, we have to put dates on the
Right.
calendar to go out on a date because he's also an entrepreneur. It's important to plan. To be fair and to be honest, I didn't do this at the beginning of my business. You know what I mean? It's a side hustle. You're just trying to get some extra
Right.
money. Well, that was how I started. And the summer months, I have no money. Because with tutoring, the summer, it kind of slows down as opposed to throughout the semester. We have to now look at our books and say, okay, you got to either spread the money across or come up with more offers so that you can really be sustainable throughout the year. Even with trying to be strategic to get partnerships or to network, to go to different events, to planning is really fundamental. Because if I tell you the amount of things I have on my plate, you would wonder how I'm sitting here in this moment having this conversation. I tell my students too, you have to put it on paper because that's how you hold yourself accountable to say, I did write it
Mhm.
down. This is what I said I was going to do. This is what I need to do because they say your brain will fail you, but your pen and paper will never fail you. So just write it down.
That is very true. Well, the study was talking about like people not being very specific in their goals, like niching down on your goals, right? I really agree that you do have to break things down, especially
Yep.
like if you have a
Yep.
really big goal. One of the things I'll be teaching in my school and on my YouTube is how do you launch a product, a business, a new idea, event in 30 days or
Mm.
less using AI.
And then,
That's not
mhm.
possible without planning. First, starting with your mind, getting your mind right to be able to go in and say, hey, I
Mhm.
got 30 days.
Mhm.
I need to launch this new product. In the summer, you realize that we're losing money in the summer
Yeah.
because I'm not maximizing my potential. If you're at the start of summer, if you launch something in 30 days, you
Yes.
still got time to make up and make some money. However, one of the things I found
Mhm.
on top of what the studies showed
Mhm.
about breaking down your goals is people are not flexible enough to pivot.
Yeah. I need to go read that.
The university,
Yeah.
the study is focused on the percent of folks that actually reach their goals. They set goals,
Mhm.
and especially in the beginning of the year,
Mhm.
right? You getting as you know, setting all these hefty goals in the beginning of the year. Well, do people reach their goals? And only 8% do. And then this is why. I have always been open to pivoting. I have a plan. I'm locked in. I think I'm locked in. I believe in
And
it.
think it's not gonna work. Come on now.
Well, well, right. However,
And what do you
it's not
do?
working out.
Mhm.
How do
Mhm.
you shift your
Mhm.
goals week to
Mhm.
week, day to day to
Yeah,
still
that's real.
accomplish the same thing? One of the things that allowed me to be really good in math was a very
Mhm.
non-traditional way of thinking. As I was learning, the teachers telling us, "Okay, this is how you arrive at the answer." And I was like,
Mhm.
"Okay." I go home, I'm doing my homework. "But can't you do it this way?" In my head only,
Yeah.
"Okay,
Yes.
Imma do it my
Good.
way." So I'll come back and I
No,
did a
that's
whole 'nother
fine.
way.
That's work. Yeah, yeah.
And then she was like, "Hey, Natina, you did arrive at the answer. What made
Mhm.
you go this
Yeah.
direction?" We talked through that. I always pushed the envelope in the way my brain would work. It allowed me to have these really constructive
Yes.
conversations with the teacher. It didn't always arrive at the right answer. However, I still was gonna do it my way. And sometimes I would follow instructions,
Are
but
you guys student?
a challenge of mine to, like,
Oh, that's
figure out another way
hilarious.
to do it. I think just the way my brain worked was
Yes.
if this way doesn't work,
Yeah.
or if I'm having trouble
Yeah.
arriving at the answer or understanding, yeah, you taught it that way, but I didn't get it. Then I started to figure
Yeah.
out, well, what makes sense to me. And
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
that has followed me
Yeah.
in setting goals and reaching them because plenty of times I have to like pivot.
In every service that we do, the first thing I do is the mindset, but then I also say you have to set a goal. When our SAT prep students come in, we say, "What's your goal?" Because you need to know what you're working towards. Then we come up with a detailed plan. This is what we're gonna sit down and do, a study schedule, like all of that good stuff. As you were talking, I thought about it and I said, that's why I even love math, because I would sit there and if I get a question and I can't figure it out, I'm sitting down because I got to figure this out and I'm coming up with different strategies. Then you bring that over
Right.
into the real world to problem solve because a lot of times students are like, what is the point of math? Why do I need this? And I would say, well, when you go out in the real world, it's not that you're looking to find the square root of whatever. You're thinking of how to solve real world problems. When you come in contact with somebody who stepped on your shoes, how are you going to
Mm.
solve that problem? Are you going to fist go to jail? It's those simple things that people don't realize. It's the navigation of getting to the answer. So we have to be able to, like you say, pivot. Because let me tell you, when I started my business, I was just a math tutor. Okay. I didn't have no dreams of hopes of saying, "Oh, COVID is gonna come," because we were face to face. We were in person, driving, going to the library. I actually started tutoring in 2018, and then we know what happened in 2019. COVID, 2020, COVID just shifted everything for my business, and a lot of businesses closed because they didn't pivot. Now we're virtual. That's where we are. All of our services are virtual
Right.
now.
You pivoted early and you start to be able to figure out how do you help
Mhm.
children and people thrive in
Yep.
this world of virtual.
Exactly.
It allowed you to scale more. You would have been resistant, like, people need to learn in person. This is not gonna work.
Yes, we serve people in Jamaica, New York, New Jersey, Florida, Seattle, like Texas. So we're like all over now. We couldn't have done that drive-in to the live, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so people need to not be so resistant to the pivot because a lot of times if it's not going their way, they break down
Absolutely.
or they like stop, literally. That's why it's only 8% of people who go to the goal because they just stop and they just go, "Oh, it's not working out," and quit.
I believe that it's okay to pause.
Reevaluate. Mhm.
You probably need a pause. The pause is literally for you to strategize, do some research. I'm an info junkie. I don't read as many books as I used to, but I am reading
Okay,
the
that's good.
articles. Harvard Business Review, every article. I love the internet. I'm reading, consuming. I love research.
Yeah.
So the thing about it is the pause is
Mhm,
okay, and
mhm,
especially if you
mhm.
need mental pause. But you should be pausing
I
with
like that.
purpose
Yeah.
'cause
Pause.
and intentionality. Because my intentions
Yes.
is for my business to thrive. And what do
Mhm.
I need to do in the moment? Because there's things outside of my
Yep.
control, like COVID, to thrive. And if that is a
Mhm.
complete pivot, fine. But sometimes it's just making some adjustments so you can still get where you're trying to go. Right.
No, I was gonna say the money part of my business.
I want to show something. It's probably too big to show completely. So this right here. So I love a sticky note. This this was the goal. The 100,000 was the goal of helping my client sell books. Okay. I work with authors, speakers, professors. Have been my primary client, educational consulting clients. I blocked out the name here just for privacy. But one of my clients called me and told me about her new book. And this wasn't her first book, but this book was important. And she wanted to make sure that her and I was doing the best we could to support the publisher to make sure that the pre-sales were amplified. I said, "Okay, great." And we talked about the strategy about how we would get there. And the call probably was 10, 15 minutes at that. I was excited. I love Post-it, but the big Post-it notes, that's everything. I literally went to my closet in my office, got me a big sticky note, and I drew this and I set my own goal. I didn't ask her at the time what the goal was, wrote it down, drew it up. My husband came in there, looked at the wall. He was like, "You something else." I just want to be able to see how I'm progressing in my goal. I have a goal and I need to be able to reach as I'm like landing the deals. I can come in here and just mark it off. It was a reminder to him about writing it down, visualizing this, manifesting your goals and what you want, and the power of that. It was
Wow.
at least 2 months later
Mhm.
before we had another conversation about the goal. And she was like, "Oh, I didn't tell you what the goal is. My goal is to sell $100,000 in
Wow.
books." I'm not making this up. It was just a beautiful thing. I was cheesing. Actually, it wasn't a conversation, it was a text message because I was able to screenshot her
That you
a
already
picture
had.
of what I had.
Wow. She must have loved you, huh?
Yes. She was like, "Mm." So again, that was my personal goal, and I wanted to be able to see it and track it, and I did. But it's okay to
Yes.
get at it slowly. So the goal was 100, but then as I'm going through
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
if something worked, it's okay, I could do that. Pivoting along the way, the planning part of
Mhm.
business and any personal
Yeah.
goals is like writing
Yes.
it down, believing it, and make sure that what you're doing, you're passionate.
Yeah, it comes full circle. I'll give you a quick story, and it's also in business. I was doing this coaching program maybe a year ago. Rachel Rogers, I don't know if you've heard of her. In one of the programs, a part of it, we were required to write down our goals, but not like in every areas of our lives.
Mhm.
So whether that's in health, in education for your kids, in travel, whatever the case may be. And I'm gonna tell you, I wrote down that I wanted to have a garden like Oprah. Oprah has her beautiful garden in the backyard. And
Oh,
then I said I
okay.
wanted a track because I work out a lot, a track in my own space where I could go around and run and whatever the case may be. Let me tell you, this summer, if I show you my garden now, I don't have a like Oprah. I don't have that big elaborate, but I have a garden. And it was because I wrote it down.
Right.
When the opportunity presented itself, I could step into it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? I did the 75-day
Mhm.
hard
Right.
challenge, and I had to do an outdoor workout, and I made a track out there in my backyard. Do you see what I'm saying? I'm like, "Oh my goodness. This is 2 out of the however many goals that I set that have already come to fruition."
Right.
It's
You believe
yes,
it's happening, but you also have to take the steps.
yes,
So
yes.
we have to put our part in, and
Mhm.
sometimes that it's difficult
You have to.
to do it, but you have to. The other part talking about like
Mhm,
mentorship,
mhm,
you talked about coaching programs, right?
mhm,
I'm in a coaching program
mhm.
currently with Arlen Hamilton, one of my faves, and it really is the part of mentorship and like having a squad, cheering you on, like-minded people, because it gets tough.
Oh my
It
good
literally gets tough. Well, reach goals,
it
to run
does.
a business, whatever you're doing, it can get tough. Who are
Yeah.
your accountability partners? And one of the reasons why I'm starting a school is because I am in a
Mhm.
school, which is Skool, and the beauty of having like-minded people
Yep.
to run things by.
Mhm.
I can post a
Mhm.
poll. This is what I'm
Yeah.
thinking. I would love your help. Now I'm literally gathering research on my ideas with people who are doing the same thing,
Yeah.
and they're willing to answer this poll. And
Mhm.
everybody's rooting each other on, and everyone like, it's
I
just a
agree.
beautiful thing. Is people are
Mhm.
all over the world in these groups. It's the fact that some people are alone. They don't have the friend, or they have beautiful friendships, but they're not like-minded. You may be the only entrepreneur in your
I realized that. And then I said, "Shanna, you gotta step out." It's scary to step out and ask for help, or it was hard for me to even find the right coach. I don't know how you found yours, but I did a lot of research to find somebody. But I looked at my circle and somebody said, "If you're the smartest one in the circle, you need a bigger circle." Right? Not that I was the smartest one. I always say, when you set a goal, find somebody who's done it or who is in that position and follow them, research them, let them be your mentor, whatever the case may be. I was looking around and I was like, who in my circle is that? And I couldn't find that yet. So I started stepping out. I need to find other people who are, like you said, like-minded. And I was yearning for it. Like, come on now. In business, hungry for success and moving forward. I echo everything that you said. So the people who are watching, don't be afraid to step out. It may go south. It didn't go south for me. Any program that you join, it's what you make of it. Which you could be in that group, right? And not
right,
utilize your peer. You could just be there and just take up space.
right,
If you're hungry, you have a plan and you're making
right.
those steps towards it, you have that people surrounding you to give you that support. You are bound to thrive. Of course, you have your down and up moments, but you will still be able to bounce back.
Oh, you definitely will thrive. It was just beautiful seeing, like, a recent post where it was an older woman, say she was close to 70, and she's in here getting ready to start her YouTube, you know, her
Mhm.
membership and wants to share her wisdom, and she recorded a beautiful video. She was really
Right.
questioning, "Is it good
Mhm.
enough?" I'm like, "It's
Mhm.
beautifully authentic. I love it." And then someone comes in the community and he says, "I took the liberty to download your video and
Mm.
enhance the audio because I mix and master audio. I extracted your
Mm.
audio, made it better. I can show you
Wow.
how to
Yeah.
add it back, really easy steps to do it, and now it's virtually. I can't even, why somebody on the shoulder like,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I
Mhm.
wanna cultivate
Mm.
this type
Yeah.
of community. This is beautiful. That
Yes.
woman is going to
Yes.
thrive because he just built up her confidence. If you don't
Be
have
open.
that, be open to
Mhm.
joining these type of memberships and
Yeah.
groups and coaching programs. Some of them don't cost a lot. My school, I'm starting at $9 a month,
Mhm.
$50 a year, but making sure that folks can come in and actually join and afford it while they're building up. I work with a lot of newbies or people that are
Mhm.
trying to scale their business. Give yourself grace. Be able to pause, pivot, all those things.
Oh, I had to learn that the hard way. Even with the stuff that I'm doing, you write your list and you don't get to it and you're like, "Man, I still gotta do it." I'm like, "Girl, sit down somewhere." Your brain is wired in that way, but look at all the stuff you did do. Pat yourself on the back, put your legs up and drink a glass of wine and go to bed.
Mhm.
You
Exactly. And that's the beauty of writing it down, even if you have an impossible list, because
Mhm.
it's like literally 24 hours in a day, and you may be working 10 of those as an entrepreneur. Look, it may be 12. However, when you're very ambitious,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
usually not enough time to get through all of them.
yeah,
That's where
exactly.
celebrating the small wins come in. And we have to give ourselves grace and be realistic. Look at them goals and say, okay,
Mhm.
that was a lot. However,
Yeah.
I checked off this, and this. This is really important. And with planning, that Pivot
That's
means you
it.
actually know what to prioritize. Did you
Yeah.
prioritize what needed to be prioritized for that day?
Yeah.
And if life is lifing and happening,
Yeah. Yeah.
be okay with that because you pick it up the next day. And as long as you're working on something consistently, you'll get there. And really championing ourselves in that way so that we don't get in a rut and we don't start to feel like we're not accomplishing things and we can't do it. It's okay. Change it up. Like, sometimes you need to take a break. Turn the television on,
Yes.
grab a glass of wine.
It's the rest. A lot of times we're in silo, right? And we just think we're the only one going through this problem. We're the only one who's ever faced this issue.
Mhm.
And it's just the end of the world. Then you go into a program and you realize, oh, oh, I'm not crazy. I'm not a failure. No,
Not
I'm actually
failing.
further along than some people. Oh, that's what I remembered about the whole notion of being in a community and
Mhm.
giving yourself some slack, a break, you know?
Absolutely. I really appreciate your time.
Yes, and I'll be sure to follow Control AI with Nat, and I'll be tuning in too because I need to learn some stuff still.
Right? It's so many new tools. Can't wait
Yeah.
to share.
Thanks for having me. It was certainly a pleasure. All the best on your YouTube channel.